Hey guys, it's Kyle from Hollywood Multipass. I know it's been a while, but I'm back, and I'm here to review Guns Akimbo.
Another schism.
Schism picked random psychos, weirdos, and criminals and made them fight each other to the death. So the internet loved it. And then I came into the picture. Did I win?
So Guns Akimbo came out a few weeks before all this craziness and the lockdown and whatnot, so for many of you, this may have been the last movie that you saw in theaters, up until recently that is. So for me, I'm just going to give you my thoughts and opinions since I watched it recently. I first went into this movie with not a lot of knowledge on what it was about, and that's how I kind of want to watch all my movies in order to give it a fair chance. It starts off with a bum computer gaming programmer played by Daniel Radcliffe, who's really down in the dumps because his love life isn't working out, work is a bore, and it's not giving him the promotions he thinks he deserves, and so he finds refuge and entertainment through trolling people over the internet on his computer. His trolling ends up getting him into some trouble as he messes with the wrong people over the internet. Those people track him down and end up bolting handguns to his hands and enter him into a competition called Schism. The competition is basically a one-on-one fight to the death, and it's broadcasted on social media for the world to see. And even though it is illegal and the cops are chasing everyone around, it's the most popular show. Daniel Radcliffe's character named Miles, his archenemy is someone named Nyx, played by Samara Weaving. Look at her. She doesn't even look the same. I love what they did with her hair and makeup. I didn't know it was Samara Weaving until the final credits when I saw her name. To me, she was unrecognizable. She played her character well, and to me, she was one of the biggest contributing factors to all the good and positive notes of this movie. The combination of Nyx versus Miles is like a lion fighting a mouse. Miles, even though he was trolling on the internet, runs from any real-life confrontation. That includes all encounters with Nyx. Nyx, on the other hand, is not afraid to blow up an entire building just to get Miles. A good portion of this movie is full of comedy and action, but when it comes to the plot, it's pretty weak. Once the foundation is set and you understand the story that's presented to you, there are a lot of predictable moments. There are some twists and turns, which I really appreciated, but it's not like we haven't seen them in other movies. There's the moment of, I am your father, or good versus evil teaming up to take on the greater evil and conquer them. The directing style of this movie is very Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I mean it in the sense that it alludes to pop culture and historic movies and video games, as if we were in that digital world. The special effects are very similar, as well as some of the humor. The special effects have great quality, and I think that it mainly stems from the work history of director Jason Howden. He has a long resume of special effects work that includes the Hobbit movies, Man of Steel, Wolverine, and the newer Planet of the Apes movies. This movie really harps on the social norms of the world today. It pokes fun at the fact that we're so enticed at watching shows that focus on people suffering, or that we're so glued to our screens that we don't notice the world around us. Or the fact that we act like totally different people on the internet than we do in real life. On the note of us being enticed watching shows about other people suffering, we as a society want to say that we've progressed and moved forward from our history in the past. But think about the Colosseum and how we would all sit around and watch people kill each other. Well, this movie really plays on the fact that we're not any different, and that we want to watch people kill each other, but we won't do it in Colosseum but over our tablets or phones. On the notion of us being glued to our screens, the movie does a really good job depicting the fact that we're not really aware of our surroundings. There's a lot of scenes when Daniel Radcliffe has his phone, he's walking through the crowd, and he bumps into people and doesn't even say anything, and he doesn't realize it. And then later in the movie, he doesn't even have his phone, and he's still bumping into people and doesn't say anything about bumping into them. So it's really about how he lives a solitary life and doesn't interact with people around him. Now, speaking on Daniel Radcliffe, you have to know that I haven't seen a lot of Daniel Radcliffe movies, but after watching this one, I can tell you that I know for sure he's trying to distance himself away from that Harry Potter image as much as he can, and he's taking on all these different roles to create a new image for himself. I'm sure that if someone watched this with a lot more intent than I did, they'd find a lot more underlying political messages as well. Overall, the movie delivered on the action-packed comedy that everybody was hoping for. Unfortunately for me, all that action and comedy wasn't enough to pull the weak storyline. This is something that I would put on as I work on something else because I could still know what is happening if I miss certain parts of the movie. The lack of story doesn't require full engagement from the audience to get the full effect that it aims for. And for that reason, I'm going to give Guns Akimbo a rent. For me, it wasn't all that amazing. I didn't hate the movie, and I didn't love the movie either, which is why I gave it a rent. I can see how people want to watch this movie time and time again, But on the other hand, I can see how other people can live without watching this movie. But anyway, those are just my thoughts. I watched it on Amazon Prime, so you can check it out there. Did you like the movie? Do you like seeing Daniel Radcliffe as anything other than Harry Potter? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Please like and subscribe. It would really mean a lot. And until next time, this has been Kyle from Hollywood Multipass.